everybody. Welcome to Yoga with Tam by Radiant Soul Yoga by Tam. I'm really happy that you are watching this at this moment, whatever time of day it is for you. This is going to be a 1 hour all levels class. We're going to do some continuous flow. We're going to do some good slow stretching, and maybe we'll throw in a restorative pose at the end for everybody. So hang tight with me, and hopefully we won't have any technical difficulties. I'm at home, as is everybody else pretty much these days. My cats are bopping around. My husband works from home, so I'm hoping that we'll have minimum noise interruptions and all systems are a go as we move through this practice. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to find a comfortable seat, whatever that feels like for you. If it's cross-legged, maybe you're seated on a blanket, maybe legs are out in front of you, hands on the floor back behind you, whatever feels nice. Aim for a nice tall straight spine. Sitting up nice and tall, eyes can be closed or to a soft gaze in front of you, and we're just going to spend a few minutes focusing on our breath. Nice, steady, even inhales and exhales. Really expanding through our lungs on the inhale, filling them up with lots of air, fresh energy, fresh oxygen. And then on the exhale, concentrating on moving everything out, taking all of that spent air, all of that used up oxygen, and used up energies, things that are in your body that are not serving you, and just move it all out. Move it out with that spent air, making way for your next intake of clean, fresh air, clean, fresh oxygen and energy on your next inhale. Taking this time to bring mind and body together on the mat, quieting the mind, bringing it to the mat, focusing. One more nice deep inhale. Exhale, roll your shoulders down and back. Allow your eyes to come open. We're going to start with a few shoulder warm-ups. So we're going to bring our hands to our thighs or to the mat alongside of your legs. On an inhale, we're going to inhale all the way up. Exhale through heart center. We're going to do that again, nice and slow. Inhale up. Exhale through heart center. One more time. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, heart center. Interlace your fingers, back of the hands facing the floor. Elbows are pressing towards straight, palms facing the ceiling. Inhale all the way up. Exhale and release. Interlace your fingers again. This time press your palms away from you. Elbows again are pressing towards straight. Inhale coming up. Drop your shoulders down at the top. Exhale and release. One more time each side. Palms facing the ceiling. Inhale coming up. Shoulders drop down. Exhale and release. Palms facing away from you. Inhale coming up. Exhale and release. Let's take our right arm and bring it across our body. We're going to hook it with our left elbow as we draw that arm nice and close to our torso. Drop that right shoulder down, and if you can access it, see if you can draw that right shoulder back just a little bit. Gaze can stay straight ahead, or you can look over your right shoulder if that feels safe with your neck. Take a couple of breaths here. One more nice inhale. Exhale and release. Then we're going to take our left arm across our body, hooking it with our right elbow. We're drawing that arm nice and close to our torso, dropping the shoulder down. And again, if you can access it, maybe gently drawing the shoulder back just a little bit. A gaze can stay straight ahead, or you can look over that left shoulder. A couple of breaths here. One more inhale. Exhale and release. All right, before we move out of seated, we're going to take a seated twist. Look down and see which leg you have crossed in the front. That is the side we're going to twist to first. So hand on that side is going to come back behind you, close to your seat. Opposite hand is going to come on top of that thigh. Inhale to lengthen through the spine. Exhale, gently twisting open to that side. Any amount, we're at the beginning of our practice, so it does not have to be the deepest, greatest twist you've ever taken. Be gentle with yourself. Gaze can stay straight ahead. If it feels safe with your neck, you can gently peek your gaze back towards that back shoulder. One more inhale. Exhale and release back to center. Now we're going to take and we're going to switch the cross of our legs. So we're going to bring the other foot into the front. Hand on that side is going to come back behind you, close to your seat. Opposite hand is going to come onto the top of that thigh. Inhale to lengthen through the spine. Exhale, twisting open any amount. Again, your gaze can stay straight ahead, or you can gently look back towards your back shoulder. One more nice deep inhale. Exhale, release back to center. Okay, from here, we're going to move to hands and knees. So if you're sitting on a blanket or you have anything else on your mat, go ahead and move everything off. If you're still wearing your socks, please take those off at this time. We're going to bring our hands directly underneath of our shoulders, knees under our hips. Fingers are spread nice and wide. Palms and the outside edges of our hands and our fingers are pressing firmly into the mat. Elbow creases are rotating towards the front of the mat. Now I want you to think about your rib cage. You don't have to reach for it, but just think about tucking those ribs up just a little bit and lengthening a little bit more through the spine. And we're going to take a couple of breaths here. From here, we're going to gently begin to move into some cat-cow. So on an inhale, we're going to drop our belly towards the mat. Tail tips up, shoulders broaden. Gaze can come up, but it does not have to. You can look straight ahead or you can stay looking at the floor. Exhale, arching into cat, rounding through the upper part of our spine, drawing our abs towards our spine. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale. Exhale. One more cycle through. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, back into tabletop. On your next exhale, we're going to step our right foot back, toes on the mat, toe pads pressing into the mat, heel pushing towards the back of the room. On an inhale, we're going to take that right foot and we're going to cross it over to the left. We're going to bring our gaze around the front of our left shoulder, peeking back towards that foot, getting in a little bit of a side body bend here. On your next inhale, coming back into tabletop. Next exhale, stepping left foot back, toes on the mat, toe pads pressing into the mat, heel pushing towards the back of the room. We're waking up the calf muscles, the arch of the foot. Couple of breaths. Hands and arms stay active. You're pressing into the mat with your fingers and the outer edges of your hands as you're pressing in with your left foot. And then on an inhale, we're going to take that left foot and we're going to cross it over to the right. Gaze is going to come around the front of your right shoulder as you peek back towards that foot. Couple of breaths, side body bend, second side. On an inhale, coming back into tabletop. Spread your knees just a little bit wide. Exhale, press back for a child's pose. Let your belly soften in between your legs. Arms stretch out long in front of you. Forehead on the mat. On an inhale, coming back into tabletop. Tuck your toes. Exhale, press up and back into down dog. Go ahead and pedal out your knees or walk the dog in this first down dog of our practice if that feels nice. Bending deeply into one knee as you straighten into the other. Being gentle with our body, waking up those hamstring attachments now. As you're ready, pressing both heels back towards the mat. Your heels do not need to touch, and in fact, your knees don't even need to be straight. If it feels better on those hamstring attachments to have a little bit of bend in your knees, feel free to take that. One more deep inhale. And exhale. Inhale, looking to the front of the mat. Exhale, walk your feet forward. Forward fold. Take as much softness in your knees as you like in this first forward fold. In fact, it can feel really nice to bend your knees deeply and let your torso just rest heavily against your thighs. Hands can stay on the mat. You can grab for opposite elbows, moving into a ragdoll. You can also tuck your hands around the back of your ankles and just let your shoulders, your neck, and your head relax. Head hangs heavy. Gently bringing your hands back to the mat with bent knees, nice and slow. On an inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale. Tadasana. All right, we're going to move through 3 half sun salutations. On an inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Bend your knees if you need them. Inhale into a halfway lift, nice and high, really engaging the core, the abdomen muscles, and the low spine muscles. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees, inhale, come all the way up. Exhale. Tadasana, we're going to do exactly that again. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale into a halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale. Tadasana. One more time. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale into a halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale. Tadasana. Okay, we're going to move through some sun salutations with low crescent. On an inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale into a halfway lift. On your exhale, step your right foot back for a lunge. Find your lunge, line it up, and then bring that right knee down. Toes can stay tucked or top of the foot lays flat. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, hands come down to frame the front foot. Retuck those back toes. Right knee comes up off the mat. On an inhale, straighten your front legs, sending your hips to the ceiling. Exhale, step back into down dog for 2 breaths. Inhale, looking to the front of the mat. Exhale, right foot comes up in between your hands. Find your lunge. Left knee goes down. Again, toes can stay tucked or top of the foot lays flat. Inhale, come up. Exhale, hands come down to frame that front foot. Retuck those back toes. Left knee comes up off the mat. Take your inhale here. Exhale, left foot comes forward to meet the right. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale. Tadasana. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale into a halfway lift. Exhale, left foot goes back for a lunge. Left knee comes down. Inhale, come up. Exhale, hands come down to frame the front foot. Retuck those left toes. Left knee comes up off the mat. On your inhale, straighten that right leg, sending your hips to the ceiling. Exhale, step back into dog. 2 breaths. On your inhale, looking to the front of the mat. Exhale, left foot comes forward, up in between your hands. Right knee goes down. Inhale, come up. Exhale, hands come down to frame that front foot. Retuck your right toes. Right knee comes up off the mat. Take your inhale here. Exhale, right foot comes forward to meet the left. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale. Tadasana. All right, moving on, we're going to have some sun salutations with high crescent, and we're going to add in some vinyasas. So here we go. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale into a halfway lift. On your exhale, right foot goes back for a lunge. Get grounded, get secure. On your inhale, we're going to come up into high lunge. Exhale, hands come down to frame that front foot. Step back into dog. Stay in down dog. Move into a child's pose or take a vinyasa with me. If you want a vinyasa, we're going to inhale forward to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. On your inhale, looking to the front of the mat. Exhale, right foot comes forward, up in between your hands. Get grounded, get secure. Inhale, we're coming up into high lunge. Exhale, hands come down to frame that front foot. Step back into dog. Stay in down dog or take a vinyasa. If you want a vinyasa, we're going to inhale forward to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. On an inhale, looking to the front of the mat. Exhale, walking or hopping forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees, inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, Tadasana. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale into a halfway lift. On your exhale, left foot goes back for a lunge. Inhale, we're going to come up into high lunge. Exhale, hands come down to frame that front foot. Step back into dog. Stay in down dog, take a child's pose or take a vinyasa. If you want a vinyasa with me, inhale forward to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. On your inhale, looking to the front of the mat. Exhale, left foot comes forward, up in between your hands. Inhale, come up into high lunge. Exhale, hands come down to frame your front foot. Step back into dog. Stay in down dog or take a vinyasa. If you want a vinyasa, we're going to inhale forward to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. On your inhale, looking to the front of the mat. Exhale, walking or hopping forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale. Tadasana. All right. Inhale, arms up. Exhale into chair. Hands can be up by your ears, or you can do serving platter arms, elbow creases and palms facing the ceiling out in front of you. Weight is coming into your heels just a little bit. Tail is slightly tucking so your ab muscles are turned on. A couple of breaths here. One more inhale. Exhale, release into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale. Tadasana. 2 breaths in Tadasana. On your next inhale, inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale into a halfway lift. On your exhale, right foot goes back for a lunge. On our inhale, we're going to come up into high lunge. Exhale, straighten that front leg, opening up into warrior 2. Readjust your feet as you need to. You don't always land exactly where you need to be for a posture, so always feel free to move it around and find the right pose, the right posture. A couple of breaths here. On an inhale, peaceful warrior. Backhand can land anywhere along that back leg. Just make sure you're not pressing and pushing on your knee joint. Exhale back to warrior two. Inhale here. Exhale into side angle. Top fingers can face the ceiling, or you can rotate that palm to the front of the room and lay the arm across your ear. One more inhale. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale here. Exhale, bring your feet to the long edge of the mat. Check in with your toes, making sure they're about parallel with one another. Hands on hips, and on an exhale, we're gonna fold forward with a nice long spine. Hands coming down onto the mat or onto a block or a stack of books. Support yourself with something. Weight comes into your toes. Check in with your feet, making sure that you're pressing equally into your front big toe pad as your pinky toe pad. You want to make sure you're not rolling to the outside or the inside of your ankles here. Inhale into a halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees, one hand on each hip. Inhale, coming up. Heel toe your feet together until you're close enough to step. Shake it out just a little bit, and then we'll go ahead and come back to the front of the mat. 2 breaths in Tadasana. And I think I'm going to try and turn around this way if I don't go out of the screen so that I can not show you my backside on the second side of warrior two. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale into a halfway lift. On your exhale, left foot goes back for a lunge. Inhale, coming up into high lunge. Exhale, straighten that front leg, opening up into warrior two. Couple of breaths here. Again, remember to adjust your feet if you need to. If it's not a transition that you're used to making, you can end up a little kitty wampus. Even if it is a transition you're used to making, you can still end up a little kitty wampus. Front palm to the ceiling. Inhale, peaceful warrior. One more inhale. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale here. Exhale into side angle. Again, your top fingers can stay pointing straight towards the ceiling, or you can rotate that palm to the front of the room and lay your arm across your ear. One more inhale. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, toes to the long edge of the mat. All right, from here, we're going to kick our toes out at a little bit of an angle, and we're gonna come down into horse pose or goddess pose, depending upon what you like to call it. And we're going to flow through a little bit of movement here. So we're gonna bring our arms up to the top on an inhale. Exhale, we're gonna scoop down. Inhale, coming back up, knees stay bent. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, inhale. One more if you've got it. Exhale, inhale. Exhale here. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, heel toe your feet together till you're close enough to touch. Step it out just a little bit. All right. Standing at the top of your mat. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale into a halfway lift. On your exhale, step back into dog. On your inhale, we're going to move forward into plank. Exhale, we're going to lower all the way down nice and slow. You can drop your knees down first and just draw your elbows real close to your sides as you come down. Take your time. And then just gently rest your forehead on the floor. Bring your hands back behind you along your sides. I want you to face your palms towards the floor. We're going to inhale up into locust. On an inhale. Fingers and toes are actively reaching towards the back of the room. Shoulder blades are drawing towards your spine. Gaze can come up. It does not have to. You can look straight ahead. You can even look down at the floor. Be kind and gentle with your neck. Remember to breathe. One more inhale. Exhale and release. Make a pillow with your hands, forehead or side of the face on the pillow. All right, we're going to move into that again. So we're going to bring our hands along our sides, palms facing the floor. You can do it exactly the same way that we did last time. Coming up, hands up off the floor with your feet, or you can interlace your fingers in the center of your back. Pressing your fist towards your seat as you draw your shoulder blades together, and then on an inhale, coming up. One more nice inhale. Exhale and release. Pillow with your hands, forehead or side of the face on your pillow. Okay guys, we're going to access one more back bend while we're down here. We're going to bring our hands underneath our shoulders. Thumbs are going to line up pretty much with your nipples. Elbows are drawing towards the center, or towards your sides. Okay, we're tucking them in nice and tight. On an inhale, we're going to come up into about a medium-sized cobra. You want to keep some bend in your elbows. Inhale, coming up. Think about drawing your hands towards your body as you press your shoulders up and away. Again, gaze can go to the ceiling if that feels nice. You can look straight ahead. You can also look at the floor. One more inhale. Exhale and release. Last time with that hand pillow, forehead or side of the face on the pillow. Bringing your hands underneath your shoulders, tuck your toes. We're going to press back into tabletop and we're going to take a couple of breaths there in a nice neutral spine position. We did 3 pretty deep back bends, so we want to take a little bit of time with a neutral spine. Then on your next inhale, tuck your toes. Exhale, press up and back into down dog. 2 breaths in dog. Inhale, look to the front of the mat. Exhale, go ahead and bring your knees down onto the mat and find a comfortable seat. Stretch your legs out in front of you. Sitting up nice and tall. Feet are flexed, toes pointing towards the ceiling. Leg muscles are slightly engaged. And on an exhale, we're going to fold forward. Hands finding your feet if that's accessible. You can also just gently rest your hands on your shins, on top of your knees, whatever works, finding a place to place those hands. Couple of breaths here. While we all think about how many times I said the word place. Continuing to breathe, letting your breath do the work as you relax into this fold. On an inhale, gently walking yourself back up to seated. We're going to bring our right foot in close to our seat, knee pointing towards the ceiling, and then we're going to go ahead and lay that knee down long, connecting the inside of our right foot with the inside of our left thigh. Sitting up nice and tall, torso is facing the left leg, left foot is still flexed, toes pointing towards the ceiling, and on an exhale, we're going to fold forward over that foot any amount. Allowing your breath to do the work, letting your body relax and release into this stretch. One more nice deep inhale. Exhale, walking yourself back up to seated. Keep your legs right where they are. We're going to move into Stargazer from here. You might not want to do this posture if you have problems with your knees. So you be the judge of that. You are at home and I cannot see you, so be careful with those knee joints. We're going to take our right hand and we're going to bring it back behind us. We're going to lean back slightly. We're going to tip up onto this right shin. Left leg stays extended. Left fingertips straight up towards the ceiling, or allow that arm to drop back into a little bit of a back bend. It's kind of like a mini wild thing. Couple of breaths here. One more inhale. Exhale, gently releasing. Both legs extended out in front of you. Readjust those sit points. And then we're going to bring our left foot in, close to our seat, laying that left knee down long as we connect the inside of our left foot with the inside of our right thigh. Right leg is still engaged. Those muscles are still working. Toes are pointing towards the ceiling. Torso faces that right leg. Take an inhale here. Exhale, fold forward over that leg any amount. Using your breath to do the work here. Nice, steady, deep inhales and exhales as your muscles release and let go. One more nice deep inhale. Exhale, beginning to walk yourself back up to seated. Again, keep your legs right where they are. Left hand is going to come back behind you, leaning back slightly onto that hand. We're going to tip up onto that left shin. Fingertips can stay pointing towards the ceiling, or you can allow that arm to drop back. Couple of breaths here. You're pushing your hips up towards the ceiling as your shoulders drop back. One more inhale. Exhale, gently release. Bring the soles of both feet to the floor, knees pointing towards the ceiling. Lean back on those hands and let your knees windshield wiper side to side. All right. We're gonna find one more seated twist. We didn't really do any twisting. We didn't do any twisting during our practice, so I want to get one more twist in before we come down onto our backs. You have choices here. You can sit simple cross-legged like we did at the beginning of practice. If you want to go a little bit deeper into the hips, you can choose Gomukhasana legs. So we're going to start with our right foot tucked in. If you're going to sit cross-legged with your right foot on the inside. If you're going to do Gomukhasana legs, you're going to take that left foot and you're going to cross it over to the right, stacking those knees on top of one another. Sitting up nice and tall. On an exhale, begin to bring your hands in front as you fold forward. I know I said we were going to twist, but we're going to do Gomukhasana first. Inhale, gently walking yourself back up to seated. Bring the sole of your left foot to the floor, knee pointing towards the ceiling. Wrapping the right arm around the outside of that knee or bringing your elbow to the outside of the knee. Left hand comes back behind you. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, twisting open any amount. Think about both sit bones. Think about keeping both sit bones connected with the floor. Gaze can come back towards that back shoulder if that feels all right. One more inhale. Exhale, coming back to center. Untangle your legs, feet on the floor. Hands back behind you again, windshield wiper your knees side to side gently. All right, we're gonna move into second side. So we're gonna bring our left foot tucking in behind us. If you're sitting cross-legged, it's just left foot on the inside, right foot on the outside. If you're gonna do Gomukhasana legs, it's gonna bring your right foot over. Stacking those knees, sitting up nice and tall. Couple of breaths here. On an exhale, you can begin to walk yourself forward, folding over those legs, getting a nice deep hip opener. Inhale, gently walking yourself up. If you're sitting in Gomukhasana, just bring the sole of your right foot to the floor, knee pointing towards the ceiling. If you're sitting cross-legged, stay exactly where you are. Again, wrapping your arm around the outside of that knee or elbow to the outside of the knee. Right hand comes back behind you, sitting up nice and tall. Exhale, twisting open. Thinking about both sit bones connecting with the mat. One more inhale. Exhale, releasing back to center. Untangle those legs, feet on the floor, lean back on those hands one more time. Windshield wiper your knees side to side. And then from here, we're going to go ahead and come down onto our backs. We're going to do a little bit of work on our backs, and then we're going to move into that restorative pose. So coming down onto our backs, knees pointing towards the ceiling. Hands along our sides, taking a couple of breaths here in constructive rest. We're going to move through what I like to call rolling bridge. And what we're going to try and do is on our inhale, we're going to bring our hips up off the mat, moving into bridge, but we want to move nice and slowly, and we want to make the hitting the peak of your bridge pose at the peak of your inhale. And then on the exhale, we're going to begin to move down nice and slowly again. And hopefully when your sit bones connect with the mat again, you're expelling the last of your breath, getting ready for your next inhale and rolling back up again. So on an inhale, nice and slow, hips come up off the mat, bringing ourselves up into the peak of our bridge pose. And then exhale, releasing down nice and slow. Sit bones connecting with the floor as the last of your breath goes out. And then inhale, starting to come up again. So we're all going to be moving at a different pace with a different rhythm as to the extent and the depth of our inhales and our exhales. Shoot for 2 more. Nice and slow, take your time with it. When you finish, just gently bring your hands onto your abdomen. We'll take a couple of breaths in constructive rest. Gently bring your knees in towards your abdomen. Wrap your hands around your shins. Give yourself a nice big squeeze. Extend those feet towards the ceiling. Inside of the feet are touching. Allow your toes to point naturally towards the ceiling, and then just very gently begin to write small toe circles. Rolling out that low back. Let those circles get a little bit wider. Allow your movement to be original to you, organic to what feels good in your body. Letting those circles begin to slow down. Gently coming back to center in your own time, at your own pace. When you stop, gently begin to move in the opposite direction. Again, using a rhythm that works for your body. Allowing that to begin to slow down. Gently coming back to center. When your movement stops, draw your knees back into your torso one more time. Either rock and roll up to seated or roll over onto one side. Use your hands to make your way back up. Okay, restorative pose. We're going to do legs on a chair. So let me grab a chair here. Any chair will do. You can also do this on the back of your couch. That would work really well as well. Kitchen chair, folding chair, whatever you have handy, okay? The hardest part of this pose is getting into it. After that, it's easy peasy relaxation. You might want a blanket or a small pillow to go under the back of your neck to make sure that your neck is feeling nice and comfortable and safe. Sitting along the edge of our chair, we're just going to bring those feet up. hook your knee against the edge of the chair if you can. So hopefully you have a chair that you can either tuck your feet underneath the seat and stick them out the back, or it's long enough that that doesn't matter. Coming down onto your back. And just relaxing. Hands can be on your abdomen. You can lay them out long. One hand on your heart, one hand on your belly, whatever feels nice. Just let go, deeply relax into the posture. This is a great posture for de-stressing, for allowing tension to ease out of our bodies. This might be a time where you think about an intention for your practice. We didn't talk about that at the beginning, but we can think about it at the end. Maybe an intention for the rest of your day. Maybe you just want to let your mind empty. Let the thoughts fade away. I invite you to stay in this posture for as long as feels comfortable for you. If you would like to come out and move into Savasana pose, laying flat out on the floor, at any time you may feel free to do so. I invite you to think about taking Savasana here in this position. From here, we're going to take another 2 minutes of quiet. If you would like to stay in legs on the chair, please feel free to do so for the next 2 minutes. If you would like to come out, just gently bring your feet to the edge of the chair, rolling onto one side or the other, right or left, whatever feels best for you. Sitting up and then making your way into a Savasana position. Releasing, relaxing, letting go. Very gently coming back into the room, back to your breath. Allowing your inhales and exhales to lengthen and deepen as you come back to your awareness, back to your body. Beginning to make small movements with your fingers and your toes as you continue to reawaken and revitalize. If you are still in legs on the chair, just gently bringing the soles of your feet to the edge of the chair, rolling to one side, and just stay there for a few breaths. If you are in full out Savasana, just bring the soles of your feet to the floor, knees pointing towards the ceiling or leaning in against one another. Take a couple of breaths here. And then as you're ready, making your way onto your side. Maybe you allow your eyes to come open a little bit at this point, open to a soft gaze, letting in a little bit of light. Then using your hands for support, meeting me in a seated position. Bring our hands to heart center, thumbs pressing into our breastbones. And we're going to take 3 deep cleansing breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth on an inhale. We'll do that again. Inhale. One more inhale. I want to thank you so much for practicing with me today. Watch for more at-home practices to come your way. I will be making them available as I have time to record them. And with that, I bid you namaste. Happy health, happy home, and I can't wait to meet everybody back in person on the mat again very, very soon. Namaste, everybody.